Hello, Iggy. Hello. So, for today's video, I am a little up close and personal. Not as close as I would have liked to be, but I'm using Mikey's camera. Oh, I forgot to put the microphone on. Okay, so for today's video I have a story time. I have story times that I've just been meaning to tell and just haven't done it yet. I had to ask my friend if I could use her name in the story. She said that's fine. I'm not going to use her last name obviously, but I am going to use her actual name because I was given permission. So she is in this story. Her name is Lena. She's been my best friend since like forever. Let's just talk about it. So this is the time that my friend Lena and I got kicked out of Barnes & Noble. And this was not even because we were doing anything wrong, so that's the fun part, especially about this. It was a beautiful day, and by beautiful I mean it was cold outside, and I hated it. So I went with my friend Lena and her mom to a place called Crocker Park in Ohio. Now Crocker Park is a place where there's like a bunch of shops. It's basically an outdoor mall. It's a pretty cool place. Again, it was outside during the cold, so like I was having fun being with my friend, but also I hate the cold, so you know, bittersweet moment there. Why is it that about this day the only things I remember are getting kicked out of Barnes & Noble and being cold? Like, well, okay. I thought Iggy saw something and it was just Zephyr coming down the stairs. My friend and I went into a bunch of shops. We were having a grand old time. Now, near the end of the day, we were supposed to meet Lena's mom. We designated that we would meet in the, like, Starbucks coffee area of the Barnes & Noble, because they had like a little Starbucks at that point. I don't know if it's still there, whatever. Have not been back to this Barnes & Noble because I am still salty about this whole thing. So we go into this place. You know, we're just looking around, looking at all the books and things like that. I was poor, still poor, couldn't buy anything, so we just looked around, honestly. And then we see this little, like, you know those like Legos, but like big Legos, like I forget what those are called, but they had like a table set up for in the kids area where you could just like sit and build them. So Lena and I were like, all right, why not? We're gonna sit here and we're just gonna do whatever while we wait for your mom to tell us that we need to meet her wherever. And originally I think it was supposed to be the Starbucks place. I know I said that before, but I'm not sure now. I kind of second guessing myself. So whatever, either way, we're supposed to meet her somewhere. She was supposed to text us, whatever. Not a big deal, and I keep going on about it. We were like, all right, let's sit down at this little Lego table. It's really cute. We're already just, there's nobody here. There's no kids yet. Everybody's just kind of like milling around. So we were like, okay, there's no problem with us sitting here. And now keep in mind, my friend and I would have gladly moved if somebody had asked us to move. Or if somebody had said, hey, my kid wants to sit here and play. Can you guys leave? Or can he use the Legos? He or she, can they play with this? And I would have been like totally fine with that. So my friend and I are sitting there. Now, there's this turtle. There's this, like, I think it was a pink plush turtle. It was sitting inside like a little house thing. And I just thought it was funny, so I just was like messing with it and building around the turtle that was already there. So my friend and I are sitting there, and we're just having a good time, you know, we're laughing, we're not being obnoxious, we're not throwing things, we're just like sitting there talking to each other, waiting for her mother to tell us we were ready to go. And like genuinely, like, we're doing nothing wrong. Like, I don't understand why this happened. I don't understand why the need was felt to have this happen this way, but here it goes. So we're sitting there, and I didn't recall this until after, but this lady walks by. She kind of like stands there for a second with her son and then pulls him along, and I was like, okay, just some person there who's taking their kid to look at the stuff, whatever. She had kind of looked at us, and I was like, okay, you know, I don't know, whatever. Then we're sitting there, and the biggest bitch of a woman, like, she was blonde, can I speak to the manager, like one of the biggest bitches I've ever encountered in my life, straight up comes over to us and she goes, what are you doing? And Lena and I are just sitting there, and we're like, sitting here? Like, we're not doing anything. And also, I should mention, we were still school age. It wasn't like we were like our age now sitting at a kid's table. We were still in school. I don't remember what grade we were in, but we were pretty decently young. So this woman comes over and she just starts being nasty. And we were just kind of like, we're just sitting here. So She then proceeds to look at the Lego thing that I was playing with. She says, "What is this?" And then reaches her hand into the little house thing and yanks out this pink turtle. And Legos are flying everywhere. Like, she literally pulls it out so hard that the Legos just explode from this little house thing. And we're just kind of sitting there like, okay. The whole thing just exploded, right? She just kind of was like, "This is extremely inappropriate." I hate looking back at this now because I would have given that woman what for. But because I was a shy child, I didn't want to have a confrontation, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't want to fight this grown adult. I was too scared to do that. So Lena was silent the whole time because the woman didn't approach her or anything. She was more right next to me and was basically in my ear, getting all upset. I didn't say anything, but that turtle had already been there. But she thought I had brought the turtle over there and put it in, but it had already been there. I sat down at a seat. I hadn't done anything besides what was there besides touch it. And it's obviously supposed to be played with because it's for kids, right? This woman just was like, "You need to leave." So I stood up and we started walking away. At this point, I was kind of flabbergasted. I turned. I cannot remember for the life of me what I said to this woman, but I said something like, "Way to be rude." Oh God, I wish I had punched her in the face. I'm still so upset. I'm not as upset about it happening now as I wish I could go back and just say something and defend myself. And it was all over this stupid freaking turtle and a Lego set. We weren't even doing anything wrong. And there were no signs, by the way, that said you couldn't sit there if you were over a certain age. I feel like I should say that as well because everybody's gonna be like, "Oh, this, blah, blah, blah." I don't care. Literally, when I texted Lena, she also remembered this event and she was like, "Yeah, I'm still pretty upset about it too." But yeah, so we walk away. And then the lady, as we're walking away, she pulls out her microphone and says, "Security, we have 2 girls coming down the escalator. Can you make sure they leave?" And I was like, "Ugh." And as we start walking too, that same lady who had walked by and paused and looked at us stopped abruptly with her kid right next to when we were walking by, stopped abruptly, looked at this woman, and then took her kid and then sat down at the Lego table. So clearly this lady went up to this woman, she told her something saying that we were at the table or whatever, and maybe she exaggerated. I don't know what she said, obviously, but this woman, I swear to God, literally, I know I'm swearing in this video, but I'll bleep it out, but she was the biggest I have ever encountered. To do that, to make kids, we weren't doing anything. She could have asked us, "Hey, I feel uncomfortable with you being here, can you leave?" That's totally fine. But no, she goes up to the freaking, security person or a person who works there and was like, "These girls are at this table. I want them to leave because my kid can't play there." Oh my God, I wish I knew who this woman was so bad. Lena and I are frazzled and we're going down the escalator and I am flustered. Lena's just not sure what to say or what to do. So we leave. We contact her mom. Her mom picks us up and at this point we are so mad we just want to leave. Her mom was like, "So what happened?" We told her the story and she was like, she was ready to go in there and complain and say something, but we were just too nervous about it. So Lena was like, "No, forget it, blah, blah, blah. It's not a big deal. Just go. Let's go home." Long story short, the only things I've ever purchased from Barnes & Noble have been nothing. I literally will only go to Books A Million to purchase any kind of physical book now or half-price books. I do not support Barnes & Noble now because of this issue. And I don't blame the company, but I do blame the fact that this employee totally took it and treated us very wrongly. And I wish that I had been smart enough to complain or do something. I want to go back in time, stand up for myself, and then come back now. You know what I mean? It's just, the whole thing was so horrible. It literally took place in a matter of 3 minutes, but it was so aggravating, and I just wish I could go back and undo that and make the situation better and stand up for myself and my friend, We both just had a really bad time. So Barnes & Noble, if you hear this, I don't know what woman this was. She worked at Crocker Park Barnes & Noble. I hope her life is miserable now because you don't treat people this way. But I don't know, Barnes & Noble, if you're listening to me, even though you're probably not ever going to see this. Fuck you. So there's that. Anyway, this has been a very interesting story time. I've been wanting to tell this for quite a while. It's been difficult because, at the same time, I was kind of I don't want to make Barnes & Noble, come at me. I will never shop there again because of this incident. And yeah, there's that. So hopefully you enjoyed this story time. This is the most like anger-inducing thing that I can think about story-wise that has ever happened to me, and I don't know why, it just sticks out in my mind like a sore thumb, and it was horrible. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. I love you guys. You are the best. Please leave a like and subscribe. I have social medias, doing all the self-plug things. It really does matter to me that you contact me and leave like comments and things like that. So I really, really wanted to make sure you guys know that you're appreciated. And yeah, I will see you in my next video.